Okay, we'd like to introduce Joe Marciona. Joe, you're going to tell us about some of your memories in Pelham and beforehand. So, Joe, I wanted to learn more about you when you were growing up in Manhattan before you came to Pelham. But also, I was curious about your first car. You were telling me about your first car. So tell the camera.
Yeah, I bought my first car as it passed through the block on 106th, and I just yelled out, "I'll give you $50 for it," and the fellow stopped, and he says, "You got it," and he gave me the car.
So what year was
It
this?
was a 1932 Chevrolet convertible roadster. Now everybody knows what a convertible is, but nobody knows what a roadster is. A roadster is a car that's convertible but has no windows. It just has a top. So whenever I picked up my wife, and we used to go down, we had to make sure it wasn't raining. And what I had was my brother's sea bag that we cut out so we could fit it into the side windows. But that was really I had to really rough it.
So this was what year were you driving this car?
16. At 16.
At 16, but what year was it?
Oh.
Well, you figure 33, 43, 49.
Was it 1949 when you were driving the car?
Yes.
Okay, now you drove in Manhattan?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I'm such a good driver.
Oh.
I learned in traffic.
Tell me where you live, what
And
street
the thing
you
was to
live
miss the other car and never go into the wall. And so with that in mind, I sort of became pretty good at driving.
Okay, you continued in Manhattan and you went to what college?
I went to Empire State College.
And
It's
then you
on
became a
46th. I
teacher?
became a teacher. Yeah, I was teaching before I graduated because the school only required 10 years experience as a mechanic, and they were issuing licenses on that level. And actually I had to be a high school student, but and then I filled in, went to college and finished off my degree at Empire State College.
Okay, and you and your wife moved to Pelham when?
In 1970, we moved, we used to live in the
40.
Bronx.
42 years ago.
Okay, and you lived on Clifford?
On Clifford Avenue, yes. That was our first and only home until we recently moved.
Okay, and that was in 1970, you said. And
Yes.
how much was a house? Did you buy a house for in 1970?
If I had any brains, I
$49,000.
would have bought that.
Okay, let him talk, Cubby. How much was it?
It was $37,500.
$37,500? Oh my goodness. And now we're looking at 1 million.
And it was funny because the people who lived next door to me moved a couple of years after I was in. And he come over and says, "You want to buy this house?" I said, "I don't want to buy another house." And he only wanted, I should have taken a hint, he only wanted $50,000. And so I would have had, I would have been way ahead of the game.
So how big was this house for 37,000?
That was, very big. It was 2 bedrooms upstairs. We had 2 bedrooms downstairs, the living room, and a kitchen, and a finished basement.
Dining
You know.
room.
Huh?
Dining room.
A dining room, yeah, I forgot that. That was
And bathrooms and everything
Yeah,
else,
that's
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
with it.
yeah.
Well, that's a bargain nowadays.
Yeah, that was
As
a
we
farm and a
look-
half.
yeah.
And when we moved, it wasn't a big jump for us, in terms of finances. We were paying, I don't know, a couple of $100 a month for rent in the Bronx. But when we moved here, it wasn't much more. With the down payment and the amount of mortgage that we held, it was easy to keep it up. And also, the railroad was 75 cents. Remember, that was... And so what happened was the subway was only 50, so that was only a 25-cent increase if you wanted to go downtown, and that was a good deal, So everything seemed to fit in, it's just a question of one step up. But but it wasn't as expensive as it is now, from what I understand. Now it's $4 and change, right?
I don't know the railroad. I
Yeah,
have
that's
no
what
idea.
Simone said. But so now it's an expense, $10 to get down to town and back. And so,
Well, people are making a little more money now too.
well,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Even
They're
teachers.
making a lot more money. And, I don't know if they're keeping up. You know, I mean, I guess they are, but it's really a tight squeeze. You know,
Yeah.
for us, it was just a step up. You know, it wasn't a big problem.
Okay, now we know you like to sing and dance.
Yes.
How did that start?
Well, I'll tell you, that started actually from when I was younger. I went to St. Cecilia, and they always had a choir, and so I used to sing with the choir. And then my parents belonged to this Circolo, which was an Italian clubhouse, and they had a little stage, and they put on plays, you know, like we do locally. And somebody got interested in my sister. And they used to call her all the time to sing, and I couldn't understand my great voice why they wouldn't ask me. But I kept abreast, and you know, you sort of learn things. And when I got interested enough, my father taught me how to play the guitar, so that gave me a chance to sing on my own. And that's how I really got interested. And when I had an opportunity to work with the Queen City Sounds, that was a group out of New Rochelle, I joined the group, and I was quite satisfied. We had a great group that sang for holidays and weddings and things like that. And then they put on plays also, and that really got me involved with the play. And I was really concerned that I get my son involved. That was my gist. My son is an actor, and I tried to use that as a basis to get him started. And he introduced me to the theater for acting, because they did a show. What was that one called? Jesus, 45 Minutes from Broadway. It's supposed to take place in New Rochelle. So I got him involved in that. The lead guy quit. So he comes over to me and says, "Dad, you know, they need somebody at the theater there. How would you like to take the part?" So he auditioned me, and that was my first show, 45 Minutes from Broadway. And I enjoyed that so much, not only as an actor, you know, because it was good, but I helped them build sets, and we got really involved with building up the show. And I was very happy at that time getting myself involved with a group that was, you know, really going around doing things.
So what's your favorite song? Can you sing a few bars for us?
Well, I like the one, "Give my regards to Broadway, remember me to Herald Square. Tell all the gang at 42nd Street that I will soon be there." That enough?
That's great. Thank you very